talk to it? Go ahead.
Now, is it anchored? Is there something coming up through this stuff? You all right?
Here we are at Laran
Yeah,
Foundry.
it's just a funny angle.
Okay, good figure that.
Oh, your fingers are always clear because I
Oh, yeah.
built a lip.
Okay.
Can you say anything as we go through the camera? We can put the words for later.
Well, we made it, you know.
Maybe this is a little bit walk closer.
Transporting this is a lot like transporting a wedding cake. It's very small.
You're getting excited now, aren't you?
Oh, I've got goosebumps.
You look like you're a kid in a candy store.
I've got goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
I love the smell of the hot bronze, the mold materials. There's a smell in a bronze art foundry that's unique,
This is unique.
and it just thrills me.
Well, we came to the right place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now, yeah, see, we definitely came to the right place.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
Let me
man.
track down Taryn.
Wow.
That's my son for it.
Wow.
Is it?
I was saying, wow.
Bird of paradise.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Wow.
Sort of reminds me of it.
It's an orchid and bird of paradise.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I was saying.
How does he work? Because they're so symmetrical. Is he 3D printing things, or is it all hand sculpted, or is it a combination?
That he did a lot of it in the computer,
Mm-hmm.
and then he CNC'd it
Okay.
using a high density foam, and then from there, then he hand finished it, and then he pulled his molds and cast.
Okay, because I see some asymmetry, but it's like so minor. But, wow, they're beautiful forms. I love the design decisions he made in the basing of it as well. That's something a lot of artists overlook.
Well,
Is,
he's not quite finished with that.
it's beautiful though. Hello.
Into the dungeon.
Oh, it's hard in here.
Oh, we're just passing through. Where are we going up?
You want, are we going up? Maybe
Yeah.
we're going up. Okay.
Shall we go with you?
Yeah.
You want to keep this going? Or?
See if
Absolutely.
I can track down Taryn.
I can always edit out anything.
Sure. You got plenty of battery power.
Should have.
Why that's in here.
Well, I've always wondered what it would be like to go on one of these old freight elevators.
Yeah, it's my first time.
Going up.
So is the elevator rope activated?
Yeah. They're on the second floor, there's a big motor, and then these two big bus bars go forward or reverse.
Cool.
And you're pulling.
Very
So what this building used to be, it was a warehouse for the patterns for Sun's ship, Sunoco.
Okay.
Sunoco built their own oil tankers, their own ships.
Okay, okay.
So when we bought it in '86, it was packed with the patterns. Like it
Oh, wow.
it was overwhelming. Now I'm going to put this in an air-conditioned room.
Always loved those old it's like bronze foundries, old industrial buildings. You're getting all my sweet spots today. And bringing me one of my pieces to be molded like this.
There.
Walter?
This is Taryn.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm
Hello.
Cameron.
We-
This is
we
Dave.
talked on the phone. I'm
Spoke on the
Dave
phone.
Shepard and
Oh, yeah,
Cameron.
nice to meet you.
You too.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Cool.
I'm going to stick this in the...
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, you even have a photo set up for.
Sometimes we use it, put a coat of paint on it.
Do you do much photography of the work here, or?
We go, it's really for my son's work,
Okay.
but
He was so proud of yourself. Yeah, let's get in here. Wow,
Oh, much nicer.
wow, this would be much. Wow, look at this. Wow, that's a neat piece over there.
so we'll keep it here until we're ready to make the mold.
Okay. So is this family business?
Laran and Laran's is Larry and Randy.
That's
Randy's my brother.
okay.
It's a rich one.
Family business.
Randy's background is engineering, and mine's fine art. So what we do in here is we do laser scanning.
You do?
Yeah. So we have an older scanner, and we also, where is it? There's another. Oh, it's right there. It's still in the box. Another scanner, and then what he does is after he scans it, he has to what we call clean the file.
Yeah.
So he merges everything, and then he goes back in. We use a haptic device, and we put back, like say behind an ear or something. Now
Yes.
you have to
Your undercuts.
yeah. So he can resculpt that in the computer, put the data there, and you can feel the surface as you're sculpting the surface.
How do you mean? In the computer, you've got a sensory feedback thing with.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
That is cool.
when it's on, you can actually, you're using this device, but you can feel the surface. And as you're going over, if you hit a hole, all of a sudden you'll feel
Gives resistance or non-resistance.
Yeah. It'll drop into
Interesting.
the hole. Or,
Yeah.
So let's say if you were working on a portrait bust, and there was a defect in the eyelids, so you could blow the face
Zoom in.
real big,
Yeah.
and then you can come back in, put the data back, and then shrink it back down.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So once he does that, then if we're going to mill it in styrofoam or high density foam, then he does all the programming here, and then it's hardwired to the 5-axis CNC machine next door.
Oh,
where
okay.
He'll mill it.
Okay.
Or if it's going to be rapid prototype,
3D
we only
printing.
do small jewelry stuff.
Okay.
The bigger stuff, then we send it out to a couple companies we use, and then they'll rapid prototype it and then send it back to us.
Very cool. So I guess now's not the moment, but part of our plan is to have this scanned and reproduced in smaller scales.
Yep.
So we can do limited editions and open editions in different materials.
No problem.
So, you know, I think we've worked out the bids on the molding and casting, but if you can give us a bid on,
Yeah, we'll talk to Larry about that, and he'll
That'll be
like
good.
we did a 7-foot honorable palm, and while it was here, we scanned it, and then we make little miniatures.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So I'll
Very
show you
cool.
if you'd like to.
Please. I love this table.
Yeah, this is.
Is this your son's work?
That's my work.
That's your work.
Oh my goodness.
Did you hear the way he said that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So years ago, I did that little coffee table,
Yeah.
and when I did that one, my son said, "Hey," and he did this.
Okay, this looks more like the work downstairs,
Yes.
but
Man, that's something.
I can see the lineage. He was looking at yours
Yeah.
and riffing off of what you were doing.
So
I couldn't see it with what was downstairs because that's more like he's riffing off of his riff, but I can see the lineage. This is super cool. Is that
so
one of yours too?
that's his work.
Yeah.
And then this piece of cherry, that he carved this by hand.
Wow.
This is a nice piece of cherry.
That's beautiful.
And
I
then
would say that's gorgeous.
It is.
this is mine. This is a piece of walnut.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Brass inlays or is it bronze?
Bronze.
Bronze.
Yeah.
Of course it is. That is a very cool idea.
So this he did years ago. This was his high school sweetheart going
Oh, my
off
goodness.
to school, and she's walking away, and he's broken.
He's
Yeah.
dealing
That
with
tells
that.
the story. We've all felt that, I think.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
But he made the base a table.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen where the base of a sculpture is a table rather than you create a sculpture, put a base on it, and then somebody picks a table to put it on.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody think through that like that before. That's cool.
So
Now, does your son does he work here or is he?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
he's working on a big cauliflower right now. I'll show it to you.
man. Wow.
Oh, so it's lunchtime then.
This is one of the patterns.
From the shipbuilding?
It's a shipbuilding, or that's a pattern back there. And I mean, this place, you couldn't walk in here. It was so packed.
And now
You could almost made a museum out of this.
you could sell a bunch, or maybe you did, sell all those things to like industrial decor
Well,
designers.
we had some sculptors from Manhattan came down with 6 tractor trailers, and they handpicked the beauties, you know.
Oh yeah.
And that's in dent.
Wow.
Didn't even dent it?
Didn't even dent.
Oh man.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Oh, I just love this stuff.
and now I'll show you one other.
Yeah, please. Okay, don't tell your son, but I think your table is my favorite so far. That is
Yeah.
just awesome.
So this was
Yeah.
a piece of foam. It was a block of foam that I twisted through hot wire,
Yes, yes.
and then I put it in the pedestal, and then
Oh wow.
You molded and cast it in bronze, I imagine?
yeah, this is bronze.
Yeah. But that's how you created the form.
Yeah.
Passing a block of foam through a hot wire tool.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would, yeah.
And then I took this exact image and enlarged it.
Okay. So this will be an example of your enlargement process.
It sure looks.
Gilding the inside, I love that idea.
Wow.
And then the illumination, yeah, that is,
So then I'll show you another enlargement. We did a job for a Japanese artist flew in from Tokyo. And
This
he's
is
a
another-
ceramist.
Is this another relic of the pattern?
That's another pattern. So I'll show you this piece.
Yeah, I noticed those.
He had a gallery in New York that said if you cast in bronze, you attract a different type of collector.
Yes.
So he only does ceramic. So they brought us these ceramic pieces, and then we pulled molds and cast them, and we also enlarged them. So I'll show you one head out in the other
That must have
area.
been a serious packing job to get those from Japan to here
Yeah.
in perfect condition.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, that pattern relic would make a really cool base for a sculpture.
Yes, it
I was
does.
just dying to
Yes,
be
it
one.
would. Yeah.
These little bees. So cool.
That's walnut.
It's walnut?
But it's near the sapwood. And that's the
Okay,
sapwood.
okay, okay.
So
this is one of
here,
those enlargements.
this was a ceramic bust. We shellacked it and pulled our mold and we cast it at this scale.
So that's ceramic.
That's ceramic. Then they asked to do it at 3 foot, so then we made it in high density foam and then we
Yeah.
cast it at 3 foot. Then they wanted this piece at 8 foot. So it was 8 foot high, 8 foot in diameter, and then we made it in foam powder and then we sand cast it. Here's
Okay.
that part of that one piece I was showing you,
Yes.
and the rest of them back in that corner.
Okay.
But we already pulled molds and we cast it.
Nice.
So this is a high density urethane foam.
Okay.
Primarily this area we use sand, do all our mold.
Okay.
So we use a urethane rubber.
Okay.
We normally spray on the first 3 layers, so we have a very tight surface, no air bubbles in it.
Okay.
Then we reel them out, and then we add a seam.
Yes.
We mix up a
Thicken
material,
it
we
with-
thicken it with
Yeah.
Cavasil, and then we actually build a seam.
Yeah.
And then we start rounding out areas that would lock in, and we thicken that mold. And then when that's finished, then we use hemp and plaster and make a
Mother mold.
case.
Yeah.
And that's what we do up in here.
No, I've got another one. So, in a little while, this is what mine will look like, face down and mangled when I
Oh,
took the mold
man.
off.
He just took it off.
But that's okay, because I can reuse the clay, and that's its purpose.
Well, normally, you must have had trouble cutting it or something. Normally it's straight up how it was shipped.
So these are the kinds of molds he's describing.
Okay.
This will be the rubber layer, and this will pick up details down to fingerprints. But it has trouble holding its shape even when you make it thick. So you create this plaster jacket mold or mother mold, casing mold, to keep it rigid. And you see how it's been like dovetail jointed, keyed.
Okay.
The rubber mold has been keyed into the plaster.
So once we have molds, then we get downstairs.
You can got this block that will key into a depression on the other side, but it's also been cut a little bit jagged, and all of those details will mesh one side of the other to get a very precise fit, so you get a very precise casting.
So what they'll do is the molds will be open like this. We're going to paint in a layer of wax or a couple layers of wax, and then we'll close the molds, put the two halves together. You can see this is areas that they'll put bolts in and bullet, and then they'll pour a bucket of hot wax inside, and they'll roll the mold around and pour it back out, and now we have a hollow wax in the round.
Right.
Okay.
And however thickly you make your wax casting will be how thick the bronze will turn out to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Wax room. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Wow.
So in this area is where we do the chasing, and that's where we take the seams off. Once it's made, when it comes out of the mold, there's where the two molds went together, there will be a slight seam.
A little bit of flashing. You remember the plastic army men, the little round weird thing on the top of all the helmets? That's the kind of flashing that comes from where the mold pieces met.
Right. So they have to take that off and put back any detail. Then they have to design the plumbing of how the bronze is going to flow into the artwork. And they build that out of wax too.
Right.
So here's a good example. So you can see the metal's going to be poured here. It's going to through the main sprue, and then it'll come over here and start filling up the artwork. And all the gates are on it uphill because we want the metal to go to the bottom, control the turbulence, and then start to fill the artwork.
And that one from the head is, I'm guessing, the air vent?
Yes, this is the vent.
So as the wax flows in, it'll push the air out and the air can escape.
Okay.
And no bubbles.
Wow.
So now, to show you, notice you see the back of the sculptures taken off.
Right.
Yes.
So, because we need to make a shell material on the inside and on the out. So here's the back.
Right. So you cut patches out of the wax castings to allow airflow on the inside, so that disposable shell into which the bronze will be poured,
Right.
you have a complete, otherwise it would cast in solid bronze and weigh 10 tons and cost 10 times as much.
Yeah. So this is where we actually make the wax. So we have a 80-gallon soup kettle that we heat the wax. It's a nice even heat. So this is, and you'll see wax on the floor because they roll the mold around and just dump it on the floor, and then they scrape it off and throw it back in and reuse it.
It's a messy process.
Yeah. We also use an old grill,
Yeah, I saw that.
hot plate, so if you want to flatten the base, you just fire up the grill and you can
Okay.
just flatten the base.
You can also, like with screws, just like touch the end, pop it all where you want it, or do you have little?
Yeah, we have little hot irons. for
Little
that.
hot iron tools
But
for that.
this is if you want to flatten a piece.
That would do it. That's a great idea.
I mean, you don't make it real hot, but so you can actually put it on there, move it around, and you get a nice flat base.
That's a great idea. That's a terrific idea.
Two liquid binders, two ceramic binders, and two dry. So we actually submerge the wax into the liquid. It'll go on the inside and on the outside, and then we stucco it. So here you can see a buffalo coming through. And he has the first couple of layers on here. And
So
there,
that's the wax underneath that we just looked at.
Okay.
It's just the first couple layers on it.
right.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. So we use the zircon sand. Get fine detail, but we only put 2 coats of this, and then we go alternate thicker grain.
Okay.
The reason we want that is we want the shells to be permeable. If we use that continuously, it would be too dense. So we want
Okay.
some of the gases to go through the shell as we're
Yeah.
pouring the hot metal.
Yes. Okay. That's a good thinking. And this is fine enough. You'll get the high fidelity casting, but it doesn't have to be all the way through with that.
No, you only
Once
need
you've
it.
got that layer, we can go coarser and airier and still get all the fidelity.
2 layers of this, and then 12 or 14 layers of this.
12 to 14. Wow.
So you notice this one's red, this one's blue. So you alternate coats. So it's an air dry system, but it's also a chemical system. So they catalyze the previous coats. So
Okay.
we cut the floor out, we drop the tanks down so you're not
User friendly.
Yeah. Also, how do you get material into that where you bring volume of air up through it, then you can actually submerge it, rotate it, lift it back out without creating any stress.
Yes. So, what stage are these guys?
They're finished.
They're finished.
So they're just drying, waiting for me to burn them out.
Yeah.
So I've already drilled, and then I'm going to take them over. We'll go over there and I'll show you the burnout.
Right.
This room's got to remain constant temperature. You can't go up 5 degrees and drop. It's got to remain constant.
The wax, if the wax gets warm again, it'll start to deform.
Yep. It'll expand and crack the shell.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In some ways, it's nicer to work in the slurry department and the wax chase
Yeah.
because you get the air conditioning priorities.
There you go. So I bring them over to the actual foundry.
This is what it gets like.
So this is our burnout. So what happens is we place the shells in here, we open the bottom, and we turn them on. We have 4 burners that we have very rapid burnout. All the wax runs out, we scrape it out, throw it in there, then reprocess it in there. We also cut the floor out so we do not have concrete where you're standing, because if you spill hot metal on concrete, there's moisture.
Splashes.
So this is
That's
just
great.
a sand pit in here.
Yeah.
We have a 600-pound induction melting tilt furnace, only for silicon bronze, our bronze.
Great. Okay.
If we're going to do other alloys or aluminum or whatever, then we have a lift-out furnace.
Okay.
That's over here.
Well, you've really thought through this process very thoroughly. I mean, I worked at another bronze art foundry out west, and their process was not as well thought out as yours in some of these places.
We built it over a period of time.
Learn from doing.
Out back, we have a big diesel generator. So we fire up the diesel, that creates the power for the induction furnace. And when we're finished, we just shut it down. Originally, we were going to hook up to Pico, our electric company. Now this is 20-some years ago, but at that time they wanted $45,000 just to hook us up. Well, we bought a used generator from a VA hospital for $15,000, and we make our own power, and then we just shut it off.
That sounds like a much more efficient solution.
So, and then our cooling radiator is outside, because you must continuously cool. There's a crucible with a copper coil around it.
Okay.
So the copper coil is actually conducting the electricity.
Right.
But
Kind of like a supersized version of the wires in your toaster.
yes. But what it's doing, you got to keep the copper from melting, because we're at 2200. We pour at 22.
Yeah.
So you constantly have coolant running through the copper coils to keep them from melting.
Wow. So you've got to heat them up and cool them down at the same time.
Yeah. So
without them cracking.
Well, you're not like a heating element like in a toaster.
Okay.
What you're doing is you're turning electricity on, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. And what that does, that goes 3,000 times a minute, and that creates a magnetic flux.
Right,
and
right.
starts to vibrate the crystalline structure of the metal, and then it melts.
Right, so the copper coil is not a heating element, it's a conductor,
The conductor.
for the electrical field which
Right.
melts the bronze.
Right.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like creating an arc in a TIG welder. Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. So
Or not.
one day we had an office manager. He since has retired, but I'm back here loading the kiln. Loading the furnace, and he wanted to tell me about a phone call, and he was standing right there. And all of a sudden, he jumps back, and I said, "Ow, did you get splashed or something?" Here, there's a magnetic flux around the furnace.
Oh.
He had a metal hip, and it started to heat his hip.
Whoa!
So he won't come out here anymore.
No.
Wild!
So
So
they-
it's not like getting too close to a fire exactly. You didn't get burned externally.
He got,
The magnetic field started heating up the metal hip
yeah,
inside of his body. That's crazy.
yeah. So they tell you, you can't wear a watch,
Yeah.
can't have anything can't have coins in your pockets or anything like that.
But the copper rivets on your jeans even get it.
If you continue, like normally I'm standing here, I'm working, and then I'm back, and I'm not continuously standing here. But yes, they would.
If you stood still
if I-
too long.
Right.
Too close.
Now, is that bronze?
Yes.
That's
the
our
bronze ingots.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what it looks like.
we use silicon bronze. Traditional bronze is copper, lead, and tin.
Right.
Ours is 94 copper, 3 to 4 silica, and 1% manganese. So there's no heavy metals. And the reason we use that alloy with our acid rain today, this has the highest resistance to the acid rain.
Oh, okay.
Where the old leaded bronzes are actually starting to etch. You're actually starting to see
interesting.
little areas.
Interesting.
So this fights it.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing because we want to put a patina on it, but she only knows how to work on silicon bronze.
So putting a chemical patina on the leaded bronze, it behaves differently
It does.
than the silicon bronze.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, this is our pouring area. That's an old gas-fired furnace that in case we're in the middle of pouring and say a capacitor or something went down, we could switch over and keep going.
Okay.
So we just keep it
Good.
for backup.
Very good.
Now the other thing we do is called sand casting, and do in this area is we actually will, like, say that that's a foam pattern that we cast that base you'll see out there. But we'll put the pattern on the floor, we put cinder blocks around it, and then we have wheelbarrows that the sand mixed with a catalyst and a resin, and then we wheelbarrow it over and ram it.
Yeah, it makes the sand sticky-ish.
It'll actually harden.
Okay.
So we use, I think, 3%.
But it's reusable, isn't it?
You could if you want to. We don't.
Okay.
If you had a reclaimer, you could grind it up, you flame it, and then you could reuse the sand.
Because I mean, I've seen sand casting videos, but I haven't looked at the technical details. So I know they just kind of reuse the stuff, but
well, if now we're using a resin bonded sand.
Right.
There is another sand called green sand. It's just moisture.
Okay.
But it has to be low count. But it has a little bit of clay with the sand, and then you can actually pack it. And pull, and then it all falls apart. And,
right.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen that.
Yep. What we do is our sand. We actually have a big dumpster out there that we throw the big sand molds in there, and our ceramic shell, and then they take it up to Philadelphia and they grind it up, add it to blacktop. Because we don't have lead in our metal, so we can dispose of it that way.
So your industrial waste becomes an ingredient for somebody else's industrial process.
There you go.
Great, love it.
So this is the pouring area and the sand molding area, and then the metalworking area.
That's where I work, primarily.
You can take weld?
Yes. I actually learned on the job. They hired me because I was an artist, not because I was a welder. Because you have to have an artistic eye to do this.
Yeah.
But you can teach an artist to weld.
Yep.
You can't teach a welder to have an artistic eye.
There's the face.
Yeah.
And there's on the top.
Okay.
Big top down.
Normally in this area, we have our two booms, our cranes.
Yeah.
We do all the metalworking in this area.
See the embodiments over here and smaller things in the desks.
Yeah, I mean, we did a 35-foot wall of wheat for the Ukraine embassy, and we did all the tables were taken out and we used this whole area.
Oh man, you're gonna be like Elton John. Ah. Man,
Then once that's our T-slot table, if we need to bolt it down and use come-alongs to pull it, or
which you often do.
yeah, I mean that thing weighs 20,000 pounds, so it can do a lot of.
where's the cauliflower?
It's going out to Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. I've never seen one that big before, but that would be really helpful.
It is. I mean, we have all the tools and all the clamps, and we use them all the time.
Because the thing that you would never guess until you do this job, that from molding to wax to cast bronze components, you can get deformation that you have to put back in metal chase. And so if these panels are supposed to fit together like this, and one's come back like this, you have to muscle that back into its proper shape. And sometimes that means come-alongs and wrenching it into place, and then quickly welding to keep it there.
Well,
sometimes it means whacking it with a sledgehammer.
We use hydraulic rams. You can press
Hydraulic rams, yeah. Sometimes it means physically cutting it apart and re-welding it back into its proper position. It's a job. It's a job.
Patina area. all the patina work, the hood.
Yeah. So, because it's a copper alloy, bronze will patinate over time naturally. It'll take on that greenish tint, it'll darken from the elements, the weather, people touching it. But when we're doing new bronze sculpture, usually what we do is have a chemical patina added. So it's an accelerated process using acids to get it the color you want it, to darken it down. And frequently on a thing like this, you'll start with ferric chloride, which is that the right one? Ferric chloride?
We don't use chloride,
You don't, okay.
but we use ferric.
Use ferric. It'll get you nice and black like this, but then you'll take these Scotch-Brite sponges and sand it. The darkness will stay in the crevices, and you'll brighten up the high spots, and you get more depth and interest in the sculpture that way. And you can go through that back and forth and back and forth. And it looks like this one's got a nice transition that they want, so like a black head, like a...
I don't know if she just has
Is it
worked on that
unfinished?
yet.
Is it unfinished, or is this what we're going for?
Well,
Either way, it's an
going
option.
to be a red. I know it's a deep.
Yeah, here's a good example of that. So this is an artificial oxidized copper patina,
Okay.
but this is something that a bronze sculpture would do naturally over decades or centuries.
Okay.
But by using these chemical processes, you can create this in a day.
And it's actually protecting the bronze.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So is
it's-
that what you want to do in the bust of Jesus?
Not this color.
Not that
It'll
color,
be.
more of a golden patina.
I was thinking probably just more of a traditional French brown.
Oh, okay.
So probably something like this or this.
Which one?
Probably something like this or this. Probably this.
Okay. All right. All right.
But you know, you could.
You can always make that decision later. I
Yeah,
guess.
and you know, like this one is a lovely wheat color, but they've also buffed the high spots. So there's lots of options.
Yeah, well here you can have where you actually have
Marble?
vein. Yeah.
Yeah,
It only works on certain pieces.
I agree.
Not
It's lovely,
not on
and I
bigger-
never choose it for my work.
definitely.
I don't know why, because it is beautiful.
Well, it was your price from.
It's not. It doesn't fit
Right.
with my type of work.
Yep.
Now, something that's a little more abstract, a lot more flat surfaces, you add interest, or something, more abstract.
Yeah, you could get away with it.
Yeah, it's fun. That is a gorgeous bust of Laran. Who did that?
Is that ridiculous?
That is good.
That is stellar.
Yeah.
That's not a. Right now, they're just using it as a learning tool. That's not a finished patina.
Right. That's probably what you would call a Foundry edition or a Foundry copy. So it's not. You don't deliver that. It's not for sale.
Yeah.
You keep it around as a reference for future projects. Casting more of those. You show it to your employee and say, "Do it like this."
And then next door is where we have the big sandblaster and the CNC machine.
Yes, I saw the dust collector.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I think I know what's going on over there."
We can walk over if you want, or
Yeah.
All right, let me get.
Yes, it was. No. Her roommate said something about she fell in the shower. Maybe that's what she was rubbing her leg, but she didn't say anything about her. Yes, her thigh. Yeah, but she didn't say anything about her leg hurting.
Over there, across the tracks, is a private school.
Oh wow.
This is actually really low key. We have a lot of solar panels on top.
Nice.
Create
been saying that for years. It's like, stop putting solar panels on farmland. Start incentivizing builders,
Yeah.
people who own
Yeah.
flat roof buildings to cover that. Or make solar panel canopies for parking lots.
Yes.
Instead of taking farmland. Holy cow.
That's what it's saying, Bob.
The foundry I worked at, their sandblasting room was less than a quarter the size of that. And when we had to sandblast a monument, they set up a temporary tent in the middle of the shop floor. Cool, super cool. Yeah, that's pretty high density, but it's
So if the artist is going to put clay on it,
yeah,
then we use styrofoam.
right. Okay.
If like the Japanese artists, where the final product is the foam and we just hard coat it, then we use a high density urethane foam.
Okay.
But for clay, styrofoam,
Yeah. So like
it's a closed cell styrofoam.
right. It's very tight, but it is heavily styrofoam, but it is dense. So like you'd CNC 98% full size to account for the last 2% in clay or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we'll do all the programming up in the apartment. It's sent down to that box. That box. My son comes down. He tells the machine where zero. This is just a spacer block.
Okay.
So he'll put a bigger block on top of this. But he'll tell the machine where zero is.
Right. It's got a sensor.
Yeah.
Once it touches, you identify that spot as zero, and then
Then it'll start.
it navigates every spot from that point.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
But you gotta wear some serious respiration in here.
It's not too bad. I mean, yeah, you definitely want to wear a mask, but we heat and air condition in this room, but we don't heat this.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It would all go up there where nobody
there
can
you go.
feel it.
Yeah. How we buy the phone? See the big block.
Yeah, look.
That's how we get the phone to.
And if you were going to do a monument of, say, something like a 10 times life-size horse and rider, you would CNC carve portions of that from each of these blocks and then stick them together.
Yep.
So this is the other kind of foam we were talking about.
There's a bunch of different densities. Here's a 3,
Oh wow. Okay.
so it's 13. We use different densities for different projects.
Good. Here's an example of gluing them together, so it looks like Gorilla Glue or some sort of foaming glue.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can create thicker blocks to carve out of from these sheets.
You can't buy the urethane in big blocks. You have to get it in sheets right here.
Right. Maybe something with the manufacturing pressure they apply to get the high density. You can't get thorough pressure in bigger blocks. You have to go nice and flat. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's like a book press on steroids. Yeah.
So that's what we do with it.
possible to get just about any size of thing you want.
Yeah.
Just about. It's almost like the limiting factor is the size of the working space.
Well, we have one possible job. They want a 30-foot Madonna. So what we have to do is take the ceiling out.
Oh wow.
Because we're only at 25 or 26 feet. Now, when we did the World War II memorial, we had 18-foot columns, and then we had 10 and 12-foot birds. And what we did is we made a jig of the anchoring lugs down in Washington.
Yeah.
We test fit everything here, and we had to take the ceiling out because the birds are up past the ceiling.
Okay, so it wouldn't be your first rodeo if you got that done.
Right.
This building is when America was an industrial powerhouse.
Well, when we moved in, this building was larger. Hi, can I help you?
That's all right. I can edit things.
So there was where you drove in. That was a big metalworking area.
Okay.
The corner, there was a 2-story corner lot. That's where they actually made the patterns. And then across the street, there was a massive building, and that's where they did the machine. So they would cast them, and then had tracks that went over there. They would put them on those big machine, mill them, and then you see the parking garage.
Yes. Okay.
So the river's right there.
Yeah.
The Delaware River. So they
Okay.
would cast everything here and then go down to the waterfront and build
Put it
the ship.
together.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, very, very efficient. Build the molds to make the thing, send the thing over to where it gets assembled. Kind of like the macro version of what you're doing in there.
Yeah. Well, Sunship, it started out in like 1880, 1890. It was Weatherall, and Weatherall they built huge machines. Then right before World War I, Weatherall and Sunship merged. So then it was Sunship Weatherall. And then during the war, it basically all became Sunship. And then they had over 40,000 employees, and they were making huge boats. Then World War II really kept it going.
Yeah.
And then after that, in the 50s, they slowed down. And then I think they closed in the 60s.
Okay.
And then these buildings sat vacant. And at one point, this block was auctioned off, and a guy from Wilmington, Albert Carney, he bought the block. And this building was here, and that building was here. And what he did is, he said at one point you could barely get a pickup truck in here. So he tore a little bit of this building down and made it a courtyard, and then he rented out this area and that area.
Okay.
And we came along in '85 and asked him, what are you going to do with that building? And he said, well, we're going to tear it down.
Yeah, we
Please don't.
I said, let me look at it. And he was tickled to death that we were interested in it.
Yeah.
And so we ended up buying that, and then within a year, he wanted me to buy that building and this building. I said, Al, I don't have that kind of money. I can't do it. He said, Larry, yeah, you can. And he showed me, he said, what do you get in rent would pay the mortgage? And I was like, whoa. So before we signed any papers, the guys who were using that building, they built a bus that would scissor out to an airliner, go out to an airliner, scissor out, people would unload, drop back down, and then drive into the terminal.
Oh, okay.
So they were restoring one, and they left the space heater in the office on.
I think I know what you're saying next.
It caught the floor on fire.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been bad. It just would have been a small, well,
Scorch mark.
yeah. But what happened is they had 55-gallon drums of Emerald paint beside the
Oh,
office.
man.
It caught, when it hit the Emerald paint,
Boom.
that was it.
Yeah.
So at one point, I said, Al, we don't have a building. What we wanted to do was build studio space for artists. So
Yeah.
we could have where we could make their molds and everything on site. They could do
Yeah.
their monuments and then move on.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you remind me of an idea I had at the foundry I worked at. And I'm not creating my own foundry, at least not at this point. And so I don't mind giving away this idea if you want to use it.
Okay.
Panel van. Make a mobile molding department.
Yeah.
Generator, air compressor, and all your materials, and you go to the monument original sculpt
Yeah.
instead of them having to go through the stress of trying to transport it here.
We do that.
You do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, we had.
I knew it was a good idea.
we had Terry Jones was sculpting a life-size figure of I forget the artist, in Key West, and he wanted us to come down. He didn't design it so it could be transported. So we went down there, made the molds, and then brought it back.
Okay.
Now, the newer technology, what's going on right now?
You just send out a laser scanner. You
Yeah.
just take a digital copy of it, mill it, mold the milling.
Or rapid
components.
prototype it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's going on right now.
That would be even more elegant and efficient.
Yep.
One afternoon, one guy, even if you have to fly across country, one night in a motel, he's back with all the data.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Telling us all about them from every new person I see. But hey. See this? This is what happens when you eat too many bananas.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Oh, here.
The sun, oh, this is a,
So I was telling you the other day for metal chase,
yeah.
you can't buy these die grinders with these grooves cut in them.
You gotta make
The
it
bronze metal chasers fabricate this out of complete burrs.
Okay.
But this enables the metal chaser to replicate or imitate the marks left by ordinary sculpting tools in the clay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was telling him about this the other day and how you have to fabricate these.
Yeah. So you get the rate patterns of the artist, whatever's on his clay tool.
Wow.
then we cut the burrs to match those rake paths.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you run through a bunch of these while you're doing it because those carbide bits just tear through everything.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of space that I used to work in.
Like this here?
Yeah. And you just get your little.
Whatever it is. And
Yeah. So these are being metal chased.
I guess they're all just the same, the mold, the same thing.
Yep, they've cast multiples of the components. This is your Arnold Palmer?
No, that's Jones. So this is a reject. That we
jackal
mellowed
from over
down.
there?
Yeah, so we recast the head and
Yeah.
cut it off and added.
Right. So too many defects in the cast, but the body was okay.
Well,
Cut off
he had
the head.
shrinkage there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and his eyes screwed up.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you could come back in and re-weld that and everything, but
Yeah,
it's
well.
better to make a new wax and cast it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, what happens is, I called it the rule of three. If you weld together something a gap that big, the welding will affect an area that big.
Yeah.
When you grind away the weld to hide it, you'll affect an area that big. When you sand away the grinding to soften it and blend it in, you'll affect an area this big. So when you start with a defect that big and apply the rule of three,
Yeah.
suddenly you're altering nearly everything about this.
Okay.
It's much easier and more accurate in the end to lop off a thing like this, recast it, and weld on a complete intact component. Does that sound accurate?
Yep, exactly. And we cut it off in an area you had less detail,
Yeah.
so you had broader surface, and it was easier to hack it there and then recast.
Yeah. It got so I could, because your TIG welders, you're using pedals so you can modulate the heat, to where I could like modulate the heat and push around the molten metal a little bit like clay to just blend in even before I touch the grinders.
Very good.
It was really exciting to be able to manipulate the metal that way.
Yeah.
And now it's like these things that used to be magical, mysterious processes. You look at a pile of wood or a pile of stone or a pile of metal and you go, oh, I know what I can do with that. And it's like you cracked the code.
So I'll introduce you to my son.
Yeah.
He's talking with somebody.
But I have a feeling this is lacquer. So wax meat is definitely going to get more red, right? Hey, how you doing?
You're admiring your work.
Thank you.
Dave Shepard.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, no. It's all
Yeah, he's been bragging about you
Oh, yeah.
all over the
Yeah,
place.
Of course.
And I've been walking through every new person I see. Is that him? Is that him? Is that him?
So, okay, we're trying to.
Now, when your son was younger, did he come with you to watch your work? And yeah, you fell in love with it.
This kind of thing gets in your blood. Yeah. It's just so exciting to be able to have an idea and go through these processes and create something that exists in the physical world that other people can see.
Oh yeah.
And it all started just as an idea in your head.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, look, they even got work in here. Wow. Yeah, I've seen that piece somewhere.
This
Where's
was,
that at? Is that?
that's Kathy Friedenberg. This is a piece out in Chicago.
Where's this piece at? You know.
She did a few of them. One in Mercersburg Academy. It's a private school. This is actually a fountain. What you don't see is there's jets of water that come up, like it's splashing through the.
Like they're running through the riverbed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow. Oh man, what an
You can be an artist, or you can, be a new parent and you have your kiddo's foot cast in bronze.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
Vanessa, what she does is she has the alternate. She comes in and pulls a mold off
Yeah.
the baby's foot.
All
Okay,
right.
I'll give you Taryn,
Yeah.
and
Thank you for the tour. Good to meet
You're
you, Larry.
welcome.
Thank you. That's very exciting. Thank you very
glad you
much.
came in.
Yeah. Thank you.
See it.